Hi everyone, rise and shine, and yes, continuation of matter and chemical formulae today. Today, we are going to learn about molecules. Now, as I was explaining in my previous video, that atoms, many atoms, when they combine together, make up molecules. Today, we are going to go in that depth. Yeah. First of all, let's get the definition. Molecule is the smallest unit of matter which can exist independently. A molecule is a group of two or more atoms that are chemically combined together. Now, I might have explained in the previous video that atoms are the smallest thing of matter which exists independently. Of course they do. But here what happens, you might have noticed, you might have learned about oxygen. Oxygen is an element. Element, what is an element? It is a pure substance, or basically a pure substance. Yes, it is a pure substance. It's basically something pure which has no mixture in it, as I can say, no mixture in it. Oxygen is never mentioned as O unless and until you're doing some chemical equations or something, but it is never mentioned O. It is always, whenever you notice, O2, O2, everywhere when you notice it is O2, except for the time when you're writing when you're writing a chemical, yeah, when you're, what I was saying, when you're writing a chemical formula, except for that time, the O2, O is always, oxygen is always represented as O2. What is the reason? O2, as I was explaining in my first video, as a second video, previous video, that if there are not enough electrons, the atom can be unstable. The same thing happens with oxygen. Its single atom is unstable, and so no oxygen exists independently. It needs to combine, else it will break down. There will be no element such as oxygen. So molecule is two or more atoms that are chemically combined together. Molecules combine in two ways. Yes, two ways. Two types of molecules, as I can say, two ways they combine. So, two or more atoms of the same substance or element combine together to form H2. Consists of two hydrogen atoms. Now, atoms, I did not explain this in the previous video, but every atom has its own significance if they have a different number of electrons and protons. For example, any element you take, any element, any substance, not wood and something, any element, take it for element, any element, iron, gold, silver, gold, anything you take it, might, if you compare the atomic structure of iron with gold, it'll be different. Yes, it'll be different. So there are currently few number of substances or elements, we call, there are 118 known elements, and there are 118 atoms present till we know. There might be more. It is just the amount we discovered till now. It might be that in 1 year, 2 years, there might be 120 elements, 119 elements. Because science, especially in chemistry, it always keeps changing. Yes, it keeps changing. Biology never changes, neither does physics. That's a rare incident if it does, but never does. Chemistry keeps on changing because new inventions keep on happening. So where were we? Let's move. So two or more different elements combine together to form a molecule of carbon and two oxygen, forming CO2. First, let me explain this. In this, hydrogen is an element, and that element, consider it as a clay ball. Take two clay balls and join them together, sticking them with a toothpick, or you can simply stick them, but the shape won't be that good. I prefer to use a toothpick. That will show H2, because hydrogen also has a tendency that it cannot remain stable unless and until there are two atoms, so that it basically neutralizes the power. It needs the electron to be stable. Simple words. H2 consists of two hydrogen atoms. I hope that's clear. Now, next point is two or more different elements combined together to form a molecule of carbon and two oxygen, forming CO2. Yes, in this what happens, this diagram is mainly here to tell you. Consider this one molecule. Actually, it is one molecule, but don't view all the other molecules, only focus on this molecule. In this, you can see that these two white and these two red, actually atoms don't have a color. it is just represented, so you can distinguish between them, what is the element and all that. Consider these, this white oxygen, and the red one carbon. So H2O. Here I'm also CO2, sorry. Consider this carbon and this oxygen, CO2. Now I'm also going to explain how you write from, like, this is an element, carbon, and this is another element, oxygen. Now I'll be explaining how to write a chemical formula for that. Chemical formula I'll be explaining, but consider this. Here it is also bonded together in one molecule. Two or more different elements combined together form a molecule. And remember one thing, that oxygen is something different. Oxygen, or let's take the best example of H2O. Hydrogen is a gas, water, oxygen is a gas. And when they combine together, not combine like if you keep them both in the same container, they will become water. But if they are combined chemically, they turn water. The same thing here. It might be a different substance, unlike a mixture. In mixture, it can retain its property, but here it cannot. Hope it's clear. So this is basically the same thing, but if more molecules combine together, we can view that, because if a single molecule is here, we cannot view that. But if the molecules combine together and are big enough, we can view that. Yes, it's a substance. This image is attached here, so you can get a more clear view of this. This is here. Substance it forms and it becomes a substance, a big substance. And this, if you consider this as carbon and this as oxygen, it is carbon dioxide present, carbon dioxide gas present there. When you consider this H and if you consider this 2H, if you consider these white ones, H, and the red one, oxygen, so H2O, that means two atoms of H. It is a subscript, and that means two atoms of H. And wherever there's no number mentioned in the subscript, it is also known as 1. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. This might be a bit lengthy, bit confusing, a bit of interesting, and a bit of boring too, but it's just the things you have to study in grade 7. It is tough, but if you understand it very well, if you have any doubts, really, if you have any doubts which I did not explain, first of all, sorry, but you can also mail us at quick5ytb@gmail.com or comment in the video below. I'm gonna definitely watch those comments. I've received none. I've received comments. No, I haven't received a single comments till now. But if you really have some doubt in something, don't go to Google. Better ask us. Comment. Very attentive. We'll reply very quickly. Thank you all. Happy learning. Enjoy learning. And make sure you watch these videos carefully, because the future, this is the base of a building. If you don't build it properly, you won't be able to design your building. That's the same thing. Build your base from now, it'll be easy for you later. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day.